Thank you so much. And I'm excited again to hear from a worker, and I think we're going to have translation as well. Thuy Ha.
Kính thưa dân biểu Gonzales và quý dân biểu, tôi tên là Thúy Hà, sống làm nghề nail tại Oakland, California từ năm 2006. Kể từ khi làm nghề này, tôi đã phải chịu đựng những vấn đề sức khỏe như nhức đầu, ngứa da, ngứa mắt và khó thở. Rất nhiều đồng nghiệp của tôi cũng bị triệu chứng tương tự. Và tệ hơn nữa, có người bị vấn đề về sinh sản và có người bị ung thư vú.
Good afternoon, Assembly Member Gonzales and other committee members. My name is Thuy Ha. I live and work in Oakland, California, and have worked in the nail salon industry as a manicurist since 2006. Since I've worked in nail salons, I've experienced various health problems, such as headaches, skin rashes, itchy eye, trouble breathing. My coworkers experience similar and even worse health symptoms, such as reproductive problems and breast cancer even.
Theo tôi, điều không đúng là không có luật giúp bảo đảm cho an toàn sản phẩm cho ngành nail. Có hãng sản xuất không có chỉ rõ thành tố của sản phẩm các loại chai lọ bán ra. Tôi biết về ba độc tố của hóa chất và tôi có thể tìm ra nếu chúng có ghi trên nhãn sản phẩm.
It is wrong that there are no laws to make sure that nail salon products are safe. Manufacturers don't even have to list ingredients on the bottle of the products we use every day. I know about the toxic trial chemicals. I could look out for them if they were listed on labels.
Đối với cá nhân tôi, với khách hàng là những người thợ khác, điều quan trọng cần có sản phẩm an toàn và dễ dàng biết được là sản phẩm chứa đựng những chất gì. Đây là một điều công bằng mà chúng tôi cần được biết.
It is important to me, other nail salon technicians and customers, that the product we use at work are made safer, and I am easily find out what in product I use and how to find safer products.
Tôi xin thưa, một vấn đề quan trọng nữa đó là chương trình mỹ viện móng tay lành mạnh cần được phát triển rộng hơn. Nhờ học hỏi, tôi được biết rằng chương trình này giúp cho cả thợ lẫn khách hàng. Và tôi đã được thuyết phục được chủ tiệm của tôi trở thành mỹ viện móng tay lành mạnh vì sức khỏe của tôi ảnh hưởng đến hóa chất. Sau khi thay đổi, khi làm việc trong tiệm, tôi thấy không khí tốt hơn, dễ thở hơn, các vấn đề về sức khỏe cũng được giảm nhiều. Tôi hy vọng rằng chương trình này sẽ phát triển và mọi người thợ như tôi sẽ được hưởng lợi ích sức khỏe mà tôi được hưởng. Xin chân thành cảm ơn.
It is also important to me that real solutions, such as the Healthy Nail Salon program, be spread more widely. I learned that how the Healthy Nail Salon program could help both workers and customers, and I convinced my own boss to convert her salon into a healthy nail salon. And since then, because I convinced her because I was experiencing health issues. After that, when the salon was converted into a healthy nail salon, for me, I felt easier to breathe and my health symptoms improved. I hope that this program can be expanded to others so that other workers like me, like myself, can experience the benefits that I did. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. If we're going to open up to any questions on this portion, this panel, I know we went through a lot, even that affected this in the previous panel.
Just a quick, again, thank you to everyone for coming, particularly our worker. And I do want to ask one question to Ms. Liao, and thank you for your ongoing leadership on this. You touched a little bit on the policy proposals that you think we ought to consider. Could you just dive in a little bit more on the breadth of things that we should consider in this area?
Right. So I think, again, two-pronged strategy. I think in the short term, we need something that is more immediate that can have impact on the community, and that is expansion of the Healthy Nail Salon recognition programs statewide. So I think that there's an opportunity to be able to really expand those throughout the state. We've seen the benefits. We've actually heard about them. And, you know, I know that there's safer alternatives out out there. There's not there's not everything is a safer alternative, but we got to start somewhere. I think we need to start as a first step. And then I think secondly, a longer term approach would be around the labeling of cosmetics, and then also being able to ask the Department of Toxic Substance Control to be able to prioritize nail salon products as a priority, as a priority. So, yeah.
That's great. Are there any other questions? If not, I want to thank the panel and everyone for coming out today. We're going to open it up for public comment now, but you've really been eye-opening for me, and I imagine you'll hear a lot from us in the coming year as well, so thank you for being here. At this point, unless there's any member discussion, we'll go ahead and open it up. I know there's a couple people that came for public comment. They may have left. All right, just come on up to the microphone, and you have a minute, and please state your name and your concern.
Madam Chair, members, Fred Jones on behalf of the Professional Beauty Federation of California. Appreciated today's hearing. Sorry? I think it is. I must be too quiet. That's a first. I'm here on behalf of the Professional Beauty Federation of California. We represent individual licensees and salon owners. We even have outreach and efforts on behalf of students at schools, because that's where it all begins. There are several things that we've proposed, and by the way, even the State Board of Barbering and Cosmetology has proposed vis-a-vis legislation. One of them is they want oversight of our beauty schools. Right now they don't. They have shared oversight, but they need sole oversight. They can shut bad schools down, and they can work with good schools to make sure their curriculum is up to speed and following industry trends. That is something they requested as part of their sunset review process, but it never went forward. Another issue that the Senator
Sorry, who did they share it with?
With Senator Bonilla and the Joint Sunset Review Committee.
No, but who did they, you said they have shared oversight.
With the Bureau of Private Post-Secondary Education, okay, which isn't exactly the best run agency within the Department of Consumer Affairs, to put it mildly. The other issue that the Senator brought up is this issue of booth rental. Probably over 3/4 of these nail salons are ostensibly booth rental. The lack of understanding between right to control, setting hours, etc., is a big issue. The State Board of Barbering and Cosmetology, again, as part of this year's sunset review process, had recommended to the legislature that they ought to have the authority to create a booth rental license. Let's cut through the confusion and start bringing clarity to these salons. I think that will go a long ways to addressing some of these issues vis-a-vis labor issues. Finally, just on the health and safety issues and other issues related to salons, but also manufacturing. The honest, law-abiding salon owners follow, by definition, the law. And a lot of them are very nervous about hearings like this and about proposals that could come out next year, because whatever you pass, they'll abide by. It's those that are off the radar screen, some of which, by the way, are not even licensed salons and don't even have licensed nail techs. Unlicensed activity should be the number one issue. It is with our association. So before we go down the route of creating new laws that only the honest ones will follow, we really do need to get a little bit more aggressive with enforcing existing law. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you. My name is Jen Jackson. I'm with the San Francisco Department of the Environment. I'm the Toxics Reduction Program Manager. And as Assemblymember Chu mentioned, we operate a healthy nail salon program. We have 30 salons now in the program. It is a voluntary program for some of the same reasons the last person just mentioned. We feel like it's really important to build trust, and those salons that are not in our program may be the ones that we are most in need of doing enforcement action against. We work with them to change out the products, the practices. We now require them to post posters, even though they may not be very effective. One of the things I wanted to mention, that addressing the chemical concerns is very tricky. So we can institute a chemical ban for the toxic trio, but we need to be very careful about the regrettable substitutes. So we did this with bisphenol A and phthalates. In San Francisco, we banned them in children's products, and now we're seeing bisphenol S, which is actually possibly more toxic than bisphenol A. So we just need to be very careful if we talk about bans. And the product lines themselves are fast changing. So if we institute toxic trio-free nail polish in all of California, we don't know what else will be in there. We now know that triphenyl phosphate, which is a flame retardant, is one of the chemicals that's being substituted. The 3 policy solutions that we suggest are, first, right to know, so there's professional products.
I know, I'm sorry, we went way over, but I'd love to take your suggestions in writing, and we will share those with everybody who's on the committee. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Hi, Nancy Biermeyer with the Breast Cancer Fund. How are you? I wanted to thank you all for holding this hearing today and tell you that our organization, which works on breast cancer prevention by trying to get these chemicals out of consumer products, look forward to working with all of you moving forward. I want to echo support for the policy suggestions from Ms. Liao, and I wanted to add one as well. The state of California passed a safe cosmetics program a number of years ago, which requires manufacturers to report to the state the use of carcinogens and reproductive toxicants. That program is a great program as a public database for folks to go look that stuff up, but the program is severely underfunded, and we really need to find some more resources so that they can do their full job of not only reporting the existence of these chemicals, but doing some work around identifying the safety issues. You know, our basic question is, all of these things are really important, but what are these chemicals doing in there to begin with? And we need more federal leadership to get all of these chemicals out, but we have the state to do some work for us right now. So thank you all very much.
Hi, I'm Tammy Dramer with the Sacramento Central Labor Council, and I wanted to talk about nail salon workers. You know, as with many low-wage contracted workers, they're often unidentified or have temporary status, which makes them vulnerable, intimidated, and often victimized by unscrupulous employers. These workers often work as contractors with no pay and receive only tips as compensation. And as the woman testified earlier, sometimes getting those tips is even a challenge. You know, and then the health and safety rules often focus on the users of the services, what they take away with them when they leave, but we need to make sure that they're focusing on the health and safety of the people who are applying the products. Wage theft laws in these contractor situations are nearly impossible to enforce. So we would like to see them moved from contractors to employees. We feel that that's really, really important. And you know, even if a worker is lucky enough to navigate the wage theft process, it's nearly impossible for them to recover the funds. 80% of judgments are never returned to the victims. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Tôi tên Thúy Hà, tôi xin nói thêm về ngành nail. Tôi nghĩ người bạn tôi vừa nói vừa rồi là không đúng lắm, tại vì tôi đã làm cho nhiều nơi, nhưng mà tôi thấy chủ rất là đàng hoàng đối với tôi. Ngoài ra tôi nghĩ những người thợ, hai người chủ không có biết về luật nhiều lắm. Tôi xin quý vị cho chúng tôi học về luật nhiều hơn trước khi quý vị đã phạt chúng tôi. Xin chân thành cảm ơn.
It's Thuy Ha again. I would like to say something based on what my colleague Thu Phạm just talked in her panel. I have been a manicurist for many years, like Thu Phạm, and then for the nail salons I have worked with, I have never had to experience the bad things as she did. And I think that we workers, as well as nail salon workers, as well as owners, we desperately very much need to be educated about the labor law first before any kind of penalty or any law applied on us. We really, really need that to work like the law defined.
Absolutely. Thank you. And if that's it, I again want to thank the members who were in and out. If there's any closing comments. Ms. Brown?
Well, now you make me go back and say, what what happened with these nails that I have. No, I happen to have experienced both sides of this issue. My nail salon, I found out recently, the former owner of that salon was getting ready to be closed down, and I guess he put an ad in the Vietnamese newspaper. The people answered it, and they came in and took over before they could be closed down. And when they came in, they did such a wonderful job. One, they cleaned it up, they painted it, they put in beautiful furniture. They just really took care. Now remember, I live in a community that doesn't necessarily have those things happen. Whenever a new owner would take over, the old owner is gone. But what I want to say is that it's something that now I can pay closer attention to. And yes, I don't pay a lot for the nails. My husband would disagree. I don't pay a lot. However, one of the things that I think is I personally do is give bigger tips. And so I don't know how much money they make, but now I'll go back and I'll talk to the owner. And this particular owner has done what you've said. She has worked with her employees, and she gives them the breaks that they need. She also says that she pays well. And as a result, she's had a very steady business. But I will go back and do some more checking on that. Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for being part of this hearing, starting first with our chairwoman for convening this, as well as all of our advocates and our workers who are here. I very much hope that if any of you have any great ideas, as I'm sure you do, you will submit them to us, because it is our hope in the next couple of months that we cull the best ideas and put it together in a legislative package that we can move forward on. And I look forward very much to working with Assemblymember Gonzalez and all of you colleagues, as well as our communities up and down the state. It would be wonderful if California could continue to lead in setting an example in how we treat our workers and how we protect the health and safety of everyone who uses these products. So again, thank you, and I look forward to the conversation.
Assemblywoman Garcia.
I want to personally thank the employees who came out to testify. If they're here, they're not working, and that's definitely something that they fill in their pockets later. And so that's a really big deal for folks to be out here. And I mean, California has been doing a better job than other places, and I appreciate that we need to do a better job with education in the short term, but I definitely think there's space to improve on things like labeling, which needs to come with education also, so folks who are in the field working know what's out there. But most of our consumers are not aware and are looking for the cheapest deal, and a lot of them don't tip. And so this idea that we're going to base this off tips is unfair, not just in this industry, but a lot of other industries. So I think we need to explore that also along the way, so that these individuals are able to provide for their needs and provide for their kids and make sure that basic needs are being met. And so I want to thank everyone that came out to continue this dialogue, and I look forward to the bill ideas that come out of this, and look forward to working with the leadership of Ms. Gonzalez on this.
So thank you. And again, thank you to everybody who came out. We will be in touch and continue to work on this. And we heard loud and clear, we're not trying to shut down any industry. Obviously, people need jobs. We understand that. There's a lot of education to be done with existing laws on the books. That being said, I am a worker advocate. That's what I did. And there seems so much ripe territory here for true advocacy and organizing in an immigrant community that continues to be in a different position. I think we saw some of our colleagues a little shocked that this happens here. I was asked off the microphone if this was happening in California. The workers were talking about their jobs in California. So absolutely, because they had the New York Times article. They thought maybe this is happening somewhere else. And that just shows you how far we still have to go in this state, where I think we do the best job and have been the most protective and have passed the best kind of laws to still protect workers. And I just want to note that we had 2 panels and a presenter, all of whom were women. And that was important to me because this is a women-dominated field, and we need to continue to provide the voices for the women who, obviously, it was not only the workers themselves, but the people who are oversight in this industry. So that's important, and I think we'll continue to push this from a variety of aspects. You know, we have the vice chair of the Women's Caucus. We had a number of chairs of committees that this kind of touches, and obviously Assemblymember Chu and I have committed to working on this as a package of ideas next year, and we hope that you'll work with us. So thank you for coming out today and spending your time with us.